Leave it like it is. Let them just keep bitching about it.
I mean, there's a way to do things, and we need to address things that are proper now. But that's the way it's going to be done. Or it won't be done at all.
So that's on the ballot tonight, boys.
Oh, you get every night you
see something added to it?
every night comments are being made and
Continue.
and then and just look and you'll see who's liking it. Right? As soon as the comment's made, it's like boom, boom, boom. The same crew is liking
When
it.
it comes to the computer, can you not tell who's putting it out there?
No, because they just created, like, their name is Spirit Crow.
Yeah.
As if my name was Brandon Custer, their name is Spirit Crow.
I mean, if somebody can find out where it's coming from, what server it's coming from, or
Well, no one at our...
Nobody at their level knows
like the state police or...
Somebody.
yeah, somebody like
the
that.
crimes division somewhere, they could probably research, you know.
I mean, we can get in touch with some people in CIF, you know.
I've tried to do all my back-end research, trying to figure out who it is, but...
Yeah.
Well, I guess the truth will come out.
Oh, it will
We'll
come.
find out who's the one.
The important piece is that we just stick to the facts, though.
Right.
We can't let our emotion either drive
Right.
the right decision, not right decision, but how we handle it and then how we move forward. You know, kind of intimidation. We can't let anybody intimidate us, but we still gotta make sure we understand what the true facts are on the table, and let's address them and let's keep moving.
Yeah.
So with the Crow, they did ask. They said they're waiting. So they haven't friended anybody, I don't think, in here. I don't think anybody's on the page in here. But they posted they're waiting for the chief and council to schedule a meeting with Spirit Crow and the trustees and all the Mackinac people so they can bring forth all their evidence. They said if the chief and council do not grant them the meeting, that they will have one of their own and invite all the Mackinac people to see basically the corruption and things that chief and council have been doing. So either way, they'll probably have a meeting.
It's gotta be within, because
oh yeah.
What you explained earlier about the white people in here and the white women and the white and this and people not living here and stuff like that. That's inside info. Pretty much.
It's definitely somebody who's connected. Maybe somebody who's sitting down here, living down here.
That's inside info.
So I don't know. And then to me though, they're hiding behind the profile for a reason. They don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they wouldn't get followers if people knew who they really were. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's more mysterious if people are intrigued to listen. You know, and see what's going on.
Because it almost looks like to me, and just by, like I said, I don't see it. Like Brandon will call me and tell me okay, they posted one and read it, and he'll read it to me, and it's almost like more than one person is writing this, because there's the spiritual person that's, you know, I'm the. I don't know what you could read one from, Brandon.
I can read them to you all. Go and hear them.
Yeah, I tell you the truth. I mean, I was gonna go home and
I know, so you can probably see it. I can read the first post or any of the posts.
Yeah, read it.
I would sure love to hear it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let me get a signal, and I'll be happy to.
Yeah, you kind of hear what the. But I'll continue while you get the signal. But it's like you have a philosopher who's talking about I'm the spiritual leader of the Mackinac people and all this, and then you have somebody else that's, you know, saying stuff about, you know, all the people need to have a voice, not just others, misspelled words, and all this kind of stuff. And so you see that there's different people.
See that thing hanging there halfway down?
This.
Yeah, the intake. You know, I look at it like this, because if you look at all of these lights of the fuse are stacked between the roof.
Okay, I got this is the very first post they made on March 12th. So this is what it says. It says, Spirit Crow sees simultaneously the three fates, past, present, and future, with first-hand knowledge of the higher order of right and wrong. Spirit Crow is ready to speak. The Mackinac tribal members have been deceived by chief and council for many years, and it continues today. This page is created to bring the truth to the people. There will be many issues brought to light. Spirit Crow looks forward to having conversations with all who are interested in the truth about the tricksters. What you're about to learn will shock you. Tribal members are being exploited, while the chief and council attempt to gain unlimited power and silence the voices of others. It is time for the Mackinac tribal members to come together, learn the truth, and create a better future where all members benefit, not merely the chief and council. That was their very first post. Then they came back a couple days later and said, "Greetings, Mackinac brothers, sisters, and friends. Spirit Crow comes to you in good faith, with conviction of what is right and ready to speak only the truth. There are so many issues that are detrimental to the survival of the Mackinac tribe. Let's start with the most recent meeting on February 20th, 2021, between Chief Mark Costello, his son and Councilman Brandon Costello, and Councilman Tony Waldrop, when they decided to change the tribal constitution. They edited the current constitution to exclude the voting rights of all tribal members except for chief and council. Further, they agreed to amend the constitution to grant themselves life terms. The actual constitution states that elections are held every 4 years and requires a quorum of 5 councilmen to make amendments to the tribal constitution. This, in effect, creates a dictatorship where there is not a balance of power. This paves the way for total corruption. Spirit Crow knows this is the reason the reason the tribe is in a downward spiral, getting nowhere quickly. Other Virginia tribes are flourishing while the Mackinac tribal government are only focusing on their corrupt power that denies the voice of the people. Spirit Crow has a vision where all tribal members, residents and non-residents, will have the basic civil right to participate in their tribal democracy. The self-serving leaders have the mindset of those who colonize their lands, while tribal members are being denied their rights. This stands for truth, justice, and the people only. This stands for truth, justice, and the people has only just begun.
Now you say that at that meeting was the meeting that you all was at.
Yeah, but they left Oakland's name out.
Who was it?
Your name they had in there was Tony's name.
Tony,
You and Mark and Ova and
It was
Tony.
Mark, Brandon and mine. The only name that wasn't in there was yours.
And they said that, what they said about me, that I just said in it. Look,
Somebody commented and said, I think someone commented there's more than 3 people in the meeting, get your facts straight. And someone said, I don't think the 80-some-year-old man had anything to do with this. He's not against diversity or something like that in the tribe. So they took up for you, but they did the rest of the time.
So somewhere in there they discussed what a little bit was discussed in here though.
Yeah.
Well, so in the Constitution meeting, we talked about term limits.
Yes.
The draft had 4 years. We said, well, we think that we should maybe extend the term limits, or maybe currently we're doing life terms for our people. We talked about all that. Our chief and council have life term. We don't do elections every 4 years.
No,
but in that piece of paper, it was written that way, because that's what we had drafted. So I guess somebody got a hold of the Constitution, right? Somebody got that draft. Somebody got a hold of that draft. And then we talked about quorum, because we said, okay, what constitutes a quorum? Is it 4 or 5 people? That was one thing we talked about too, because we only had 4 in the meeting, but in the paperwork it said 5, so we talked about that.
But see, nothing has been changed.
Gotcha.
Right. So
The point I was saying was the little stuff y'all discussed.
Yeah, it was all word for word. Yeah.
but see, the difference is it doesn't make me feel like the place is bugged as much as someone has talked, because it's not exact. Because we didn't all say I make a motion on voting. We didn't all say.
Yeah.
We kind of came together and said, this is what.
And a discussion.
Yeah, this is what we need to do. This is what we should do. We got to talk to Daryl and see if we have some questions. Let's ask him what's the best practice, like what other tribes are doing. How should we handle this? And we were going to come back. No, everybody came back to the next meeting here, this group, and we could all go over what we. Because we were like, we're not going to stop. We're going to keep moving forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had discussions. We didn't make any votes. So it's you know.
They're jumping to conclusions.
It is, but it's almost like the gossip mill, right? The rumor mill has got
Terrible, you know.
and they have the evidence. So I guess if they wanted to evidence, I guess everything will come to light where it came from. But the next post that they posted was 5 days ago, and it says, Spirit Crow reminds us we do not choose the totem that comes to us with medicine. The totem chooses you. The crow is the keeper of all sacred law, a symbol of rebirth, change, and a powerful spirit guide who brings messages from high above. The message should not be ignored. Human law is not the same as sacred law. When crow medicine comes to you, it is an omen of change. It is time for you to pause and reflect on how you see the laws of the great Creator and its relations to the laws of humans. You will need to walk a sacred path, speak your truths, and balance the past, present, and future. Crow medicine gives people the ability to make decisions and be open to change. Spirit Crow's message is to offer insight into your core beliefs and values. When the crow appears, you are at a crossroads. Something special is about to happen, a shift in consciousness that will bring about a new reality. That was just a blog post that they posted about why you need to follow them, basically. Okay. 3 days ago. It is not I who seek the people. The people seek the truth and deserve the truth. Spirit Crow has many truths to share and will give in time. Maintain your composure at all costs. It may be your lighthouse in the sea of the unknown. Do not turn on each other looking to blame. Turn to tribal government. Hold them accountable and demand answers. The people have been left in the dark on matters for many years, and their voice is silenced. This time calls for each of us to communicate with respect. Spirit Crow's strength comes from the ancestors, and now the many people who support this effort. Those who go against the ancestors do not walk the sacred path. As we make this journey together, know the ancestors walk with us. For over 350 years, the Mackinac people have struggled for survival in spite of those who colonized our land. Now our struggle is with our own tribal government. Fear not, change for a better day is on the horizon. Spirit Crow will now respond to questions that have been presented and look forward to more conversations.
Then he get questions and they deleted questions, right?
Yeah, so my brother, so Tyler commented on it, and he said Spirit Crow's first question comes from a young warrior, Tyler Costello. But yes, Tyler, that's his name on Facebook. Yes, Tyler, there were 4 men present. Spirit Crow is only speaking on those who work against the people. The 4th gentleman was not part of the plot to subvert the people. That was the question. And then they also commented to Tyler, if the current circumstance is any indication, you will never receive a lot, as the lots for the last 25 years have been only gone to the close family members of the chief and council. That was our post. And then here's the one about the other meeting. So this post says, it has always been taught to us that the crow holds a sacred law and that all things are born of women. Spirit Crow is aware that there is a group of Mackinac women who have come together to take back their voices. This is the right path. The ancestors stand with the women because our future generations are born through our women. According to the meeting on February 6, 2021, Mark addressed the council about the issue of the women's group asking for their rights. This group of women are all tribal members who are residents and non-residents. Brandon stated that we must address this and presented his idea on how to skirt around the women's issue. He used quotes, women's issue. Councilman Brandon Costello said we can tell them that we are working on getting rights to women on the reservation. That's quotes too. He added, end quote, the majority of women asking for their rights are not residents. My plan will exclude them. All quotes. I didn't have a plan, guys. I don't know if you remember that. But anyway. He went on to say that few women who are residents are old or not interested and will not show up to vote. Brandon's suggestion eliminated the rights of his own sister, mother, aunt, and female cousins. Brandon followed with, what happens in this room stays in this room. Tony Waldrop agreed. This is why tribal members cannot trust the chief and council in private meetings. I know we talked about that in the end.
Yeah,
Something here needs to stay
so
here.
nothing gets all flicted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I know, that's why in my head I keep thinking like, somebody but, because some of the stuff is bits and pieces, it's not exact, but some of the pieces are things that we did. I didn't say I had a plan,
And I think you're going to have a hard time getting that from somebody talking about what went on here. That's why this place, it almost sounds like the place is bugged. Because they're getting too much fact.
Yeah, but it's not fact.
I know, but
it's like one person told somebody and the next person.
How many people know that Brandon said and told him?
Yeah, look at
in that meeting, there was all of us and Lee. There was all of us and him in that meeting. So that was the only way. If somebody in this room said something to somebody, and maybe they didn't realize the damage it would do, right? But it seems like
you don't need to be talking about this stuff.
Right, and I think we made that comment. We need to make sure until we get this piece done, we got to be tight-lipped because there are people out there that don't want to see us do anything good. Okay, there are people out there.
It's that, and then, until, like I said, until it's set in stone.
Right.
If you go saying something that's not set in stone and we know 100% is correct. It's at this point in time, it's a lie. It's bullshit, really. Until we have it set in stone, and until you get it set in stone, you can't go and say, oh yeah, we're gonna get this, or we're gonna do that. It's got, it's much more wording. It's not a 2-day process where it can just all be done. It's a long process.
It sounds like it's whoever that is, to me, it sounds like they're trying to tear down the government.
Well, they are.
Tear down the system that's here and just demolish it. Sort of
Like what they did January 6th up there, they tried to go up in there.
And the riots down in the city.
sort of like what's happening with defund the police. And
The social unrest, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I'm kind of hearing.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you there.
I hear that.
But I also feel like they're trying to tear it down to then be so when it's time, I'm going to be the one that comes and I'm going to say, it was me the whole time and I'm going to lead you
I'm
all.
gonna save you.
Yeah, lead you to the promised land. I'm going to lead there and we're going to do the right thing together. Yep. Once all the smoke clears, I'm going to emerge out of the ash, right?
Yeah.
But if the person's so sincere, why not do bull to the other night?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. But don't be operating behind.
Somebody who wants power, but they're trying to play on people's emotions to get it.
Oh yeah.
So it's obvious. It's just Well, there's more. So there's like 2 more posts. I'll read 2 more. The last 2.
And you can put my rebuttal if you want to, too.
Yeah, I can read that. So, Spirit Crow awaits an invitation to present evidence before Chief Council, trustees, and tribal members. If this request is not granted, then a meeting will be scheduled to inform the people. Many voting members have expressed concern to Spirit Crow. The people who live on the reservation, I guess. So they must know who Spirit Crow is. Many voting members have expressed to Spirit Crow that they have been excluded from tribal meetings for over a year now, while Chief and Council continue to meet privately. This goes against the tribal constitution.
But you don't have it.
But anyway, Spirit Crow knows that Mattaponi tribal women are an endangered species on tribal lands. While the Chief and Council discuss how to exclude the non-resident women's requests for their voting rights, participation in tribal government in a parcel of land, in fact, white men and women who hold lots and live on the reservation outnumber Mattaponi women residents. To further illustrate these discriminatory practices, a current councilman who is a non-resident has not lived on the reservation for over 60 years, while 3 other male voting members are also non-residents. Non-resident men should not have privilege or benefit over non-resident women in tribal government. Spirit Crow wants all tribal members to vote and participate in their government. The issue of denying women a vote and participation based on gender is discriminatory. The women's group requested a meeting with the Chief, Council, and voting members to discuss the women's participation as tribal members per their constitutional rights, and they were denied a meeting. In a response letter from the Chief of the women's group, in a response letter from the Chief to the women's group, he denied them a meeting because he is working on getting the resident women a vote. His use of the term resident women is key. The Chief's strategy for denying all other male and female non-resident tribal members a vote is discrimination. Read his words carefully, and you will see the trickster at work. The claim of the Chief wanting to unite and bring harmony to the tribal community is inconsistent with his actions. Spirit Crow stands with all who embrace truth, justice, and equality. That was that post. And the last post yesterday.
He got a big ass on his chest.
I think I done figured out who it is.
No, I'm not saying anything.
If I'm saying anything, I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
I'm saying anything.
Spirit Crow grows stronger each day, especially as more of you come forward with your testimonies. The stories of rejection by your tribal government that you have shared with Spirit Crow weighs heavy on the heart. As more tribal members join Spirit Crow, together we will soar like an eagle. Together we will stand strong and will see this through. Spirit Crow prays to the ancestors that more of our people join us and share their stories. There will be a day when we all join hands, make the sacred circle, and dance as one. There have been a couple of tribal members trying to disrupt this medicine that will heal the people. We should pray for them as well. When the ancestors arrive, there will be a storm in the forest like no other, that will level many trees and give way for new saplings to grow. All of our people reunite in the sacred circle as one. The overwhelming support from people all around Turtle Island, the U.S., they put in parentheses, in the Great Pond gives hope that better times will return. Good medicine to all. That was
Bad medicine.
Yeah, but that's probably what I want. Yeah, I'm thinking one or two people.
so the other, so then,
Oh, you got more?
well, there was this one thing is that we made a post on our official page, Mac and I page, about because people were going crazy. I mean, for the first week, we had tribe members fighting each other. Like they were fighting because they had people that were defending the tribe, people who were trying to shut them down, and there was some nasty. It was bad for them.
Oh, those people threatened to come down and
They
want
were getting threatened.
to fight people. And
Yeah. Facebook posts.
on Facebook.
They were storming the Capitol.
Yeah.
Well, they got the word like that.
On the Facebook it did?
Yeah, they were commenting back and forth and arguing. Yeah. So Chief here made a post on under his account to the Mackinac page, saying basically, "Hello, Mackinac trial members. I hope you all are well and safe. I'd like to address allegations which are being posted on a Facebook page by the person-to-person under the name of Mackinac Voice Spirit Crow. The topics mentioned in their posts reflect opinions, and this is the same thing you put in the letter to you all got. Reflect opinions and non-factual information that cannot be validated via meeting notes or any other means of documents kept by the chief and council. The information was taken out of context and fabricated to fit a narrative of destruction between the tribal bodies. There have been no amendments, votes, or changes to our current laws as alleged. I have seen the havoc and frustration this has created among our community and find it unsettling. The council and I are working to make things whole and to build harmony, but this becomes a distraction in the midst of trying to solve the more pressing issues. As chief, it is of high importance to have council representation that has similar goals in mind for our tribe to move into a level of great success. We will not allow a person or group to hold us back, nor will we allow their opinions to become embedded into the culture of this tribe's truths. If you have questions, please reach out to the chief and council accordingly for an official response. I look forward to moving us forward in a proactive manner and hope to have your support in this huge endeavor. Kind regards, Chief Martinez. So,
And no one's reached, has anybody reached out to y'all? I posted that like 4 days ago, and no one's reached out to me any questions, but the posts keep
coming on the other.
I do like, and I seen your post, the eagle.
yeah.
I was like,
Well, they're
I
out
didn't
there all the way.
understand it in the beginning. I see it, I was like, but then after Nicole showed me that thing, she sent it to me, and I was like, then it all made sense with the eagle.
I've been trying to stay neutral, even though I've been talking, because I'm trying to keep my councilman, hat on and try to stay out of the rumor mill, of what's going on. But I see it all, and it's nasty out there. People are nasty.
Yeah.
It's your own family.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that's not good.
No, because they're growing every day. They get more people and more likes.
It'll end though, because he's not, they ain't gonna have no more to post.
Oh,
No more pull,
They're trying to pull on the heartstrings though too if they're looking out for them.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think I've heard,
it's
But I will say this much. There was a lot of them saying about our ancestors and how we should do and this and that, and we're not doing like our ancestors and all. Let me tell you something.
yeah.
Our ancestors was the ones that set these laws for when this reservation was created.
Yeah.
It wasn't us.
It's been like
We
that.
only try to follow to the best of our knowledge till today, Karen.
yeah.
So don't say in there about your ancestors we're not following. We have followed
Yeah.
until we've come to a bump in the road and we're going to try to smooth it out. We're going to try to fix it. But everything is kind of all over the board with me on that, but they're using our ancestors and blaming us. Our ancestors set these.
Yeah, the way you figure somebody's voice is that their interpretation of what,
Church American voice.
our everyday practices are here. you know, you're trying to make it look like we're up to no good. That ain't true.
Yeah, trickery. And,
The tricksters. Look at that word.
it's just the little words.
I call words.
It's words, really, to people that don't know the truth. You're not
But you
skirting
do have
around
people out
something.
there that felt that they were done wrong. You know, there's people that felt they didn't get their way, right? Not that was wrong, but they didn't get their way, so they're gonna jump right on to
Right on board,
the
yeah.
bandwagon.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
That was better than watching a movie.
I was gonna say, I think I movie last week.
And it was free.
It was free for us, but
Just know it's gonna, I mean, you'll probably have a million other posts today after we meet.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll tell the story.
Does that egress lighting, is that like a battery pack up there, or that could be?
I look at that too.
I've been looking,
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a battery.
Yeah, I know it's a battery, but I had to laugh when I saw it.
It's a backup battery pack.
Yeah, that's in case we lose power, lights on, things you can get outside. That's just so funny, man, that, you know.
But now, how about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess, just want to bring this to everyone's attention of what's going on here. And, you know, I did give a rebuttal, you know, and that's what I was saying with that. My thought was, well, I have a thought is that, you know, to respond, but respond in a way of.
All you do is feed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't want to keep fuel the fire.
Right.
You can't get in the mud.
Yeah. But I think, if you're saying you have some kind of evidence, you know, I think we went down this road one time before, not long ago.
Yeah, but that's what probably that person's always said, you know,
Yeah.
well, I think evidence, you know. And then he, well, I don't know, then he didn't have no, or he or she didn't have no evidence.
Oh, well.
Well, like I said, you can't stoop to that level of
No, you can't get, you don't want to get in the mud with it.
yeah,
But we need to be on alert.
underhanded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
You need to have some kind of.
If you're out on Facebook, I would keep an eye on it because you'll see, and don't let it feed you. You know,
Right.
I had a family member of mine that was ready to go knock on some doors, and I had to calm them down and say, no, you don't need to knock on nobody's doors. You need to chill.
No, you gotta
Let them crash and burn.
Yeah.
That's what's going
You
on.
gotta give them enough room to hang themselves.
You gotta be careful with you want them to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I say, that's not the feed into it. They can only argue with themselves.
You're doing the wrong
If
thing.
we all stay neutral, which I feel like everybody in this room is pretty neutral.
If you
You know,
stay away from them, you
Hey, I hate to see somebody trying to badmouth us, which means in result all of us in the long run, because I mean if it creates friction for what we're trying to accomplish on this federal recognition and everything, I mean we don't need that kind of crap out there. It's just having the general public, you know, that can see it just as well as anybody that's related.
And the bad
We
thing,
just don't need them.
the bad thing about it, I mean, I had other tribal members from other tribes reach out to me and ask me what's going on.
Yeah, they've joined the page too. They don't just have National people, they have
Yeah.
everybody who wants to.
Oh yeah, anybody wants to get involved.
It goes out to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Anybody can do it.
Anybody can get on that side. Yeah.
But people are curious.
Oh yeah, what are we doing?
They want to read it if
People like Jerry Long, I ain't saying.
and then they'll talk about it.
Yeah, people are sitting back just to watch the show.
Yeah.
They're saying what's going to happen.
That's why all the reality shows, have good ratings on television. Plain and simple.
Right.
Well,
It sounds like a bad thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't nothing to be proud of.
I think that we should definitely though, make sure we stay focused on what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it was done. It's been going pretty
I
good.
think it's going to be even more
It's
important
going in the right
that
direction.
we get our framework
Yeah.
down because somebody's going to come through to try to.
Try to stir up some more.
That's as much to get you off track, to get you looking left to the left
Yeah.
side, and so they can.
so go back to the right side.
You got it.
Yeah.
Like you say, stick to your guns, do what's right, and just carry through.
Yep.
That's right.
Just waddle on through.
My dad used to have a wonderful saying that I've tried to practice all my life. He said, "Son, you do what's right today, you never have to be sorry tomorrow."
Yeah.
And that's that we need to adopt that philosophy. We're gonna try our best to do what's right today, and we don't have to be sorry for tomorrow.
Yeah, don't do nothing today that'll keep you.
Yeah, you don't have to do something you gotta apologize for. Yeah.
I got one quick question.
Yeah, I got one more letter, but you go ahead. You go ahead. Just one time.
On the checks, tax. Was everybody that paid taxes supposed to get one?
Again, every household, we just did a check per household.
Per household?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So every household got a check.
Yeah, I don't think it was enough to give everybody in the house a check.
Yeah, Matt was
I
telling
thought
me
about
that Emma got one, and he didn't get one.
Yeah.
I paid my taxes too. I said, well,
Yeah, because there were a couple people like that, because like Glenn got one, Jordan.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, like Bob, Karen get one.
Yeah, Karen.
I ain't gonna say nothing about it too, but anyway, I'm gonna get the car. That's all.
That's real estate.
Take care, check.
I can get it.
Per lot.
I can get in the info. That's all I.
Yeah.
But he was serious.
All right, I'll read this and then,
I have something too.
oh, okay. You want to do that and I say this?
You can go ahead.
This was sent over by Tony. My name is Harrison Philip Gundecker, better known to most of you as Chicky. I submitted this letter to formally request that my late father, Robert Gundecker, former residence, the lot located at 1550 Mackinac Reservation Circle, be granted to me to maintain and reside on. The lot was formerly tenanted by my great-grandmother, Dorothy Ada Costello, my grandmother, Dorothy Ruth Peck, and my father. Thank you for your time and consideration. Harrison Chicky Gundecker.
Did we not do that already?
I thought we
I
did.
don't care what I say, I'm gonna sort it.
I thought we did that.
I think we did. Did we do that or just in state?
Reinstate?
I thought we did it all together.
That's what I want.
I don't think Bobby had passed when we reinstated.
Yeah, you're right, that's what it was, you're right. I mean, I can't see it being an issue, I think
Yeah,
everybody's
right
very
there.
good.
Yeah, he's done wonders over there.
Yeah.
He's made, you know, for somebody.
I think it must be, I don't know why we
He's slowly getting it done. It looks a hell of a lot better than it did.
We getting it done though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a fucking job over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
But no, it's,
I
I see not.
don't see it for it being a
big
issue or reason
Yeah,
either.
issue.
I would though, what I would like to do, just for the grins here, not grins, but I would like to maybe get with Lee. I really think we did this already.
The lot.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, we did.
We
But I think he had to, because Bobby was in bad shape at that time. I think you're right, he wasn't bad.
You can defer that request until another.
Yeah, that's we're good to look up.
We already, Bobby's lot was already marked, and that went right up against,
Lance.
David and Lynn, and yeah, that tree line is, like, their line is like, laid them to, which, you know, the tree line, or whatever, that way, you know, they ain't no complaining, Chicky ain't got no problem with it. And then the other one is down behind Emma, and there's when he was going nuts, they put the divider there in the line that went through all hell and creation. So the dividers are already there for it. You know, it's very, very.
I just think we probably should look at maybe check the minutes because we don't need to duplicate anything. And
Well, the other thing too is we gotta think about, and I think I mentioned it a couple of times before. We gotta be careful about reassigning lots to people.
Without all the other simple.
Right, we don't know what I'm not saying, I'm sure Chicken's fine, okay, but I just say we don't know what the other people think. We don't want another argument like we had my family over here about lot lines when my grandma Elsie passed away.
Oh, yeah.
About whose house it belongs to and who,
Right.
you know, then all the brothers come in, someone gets in a fight, and they said, I didn't give you permission to live in there, and, you know, then you got the cops in there every other weekend.
Yeah.
So I just think it needs to be, we just need to make sure.
How many more brothers is there? More sisters? I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
I got a brother and a sister, and then they both, you know.
I think his oldest brother, he might be back in jail.
Yeah, Robert.
Robert, yeah. Because he used to be on Facebook a lot, and then he goes away, comes back every couple of years, and came out of jail.
And then the other sister is,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah, listen.
Where did she live? Live in Virginia?
Philadelphia.
Oh,
I think Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think it was all.
I mean, it probably ain't a problem. We gotta think about what the best thing to cover, you know.
Keep her looking like somebody shows them.
Because there's value to the property over there, and if Bobby had a will, I don't know, probably didn't, but, you know, he willed to somebody else or another child or something, you know, that's just a whole nother, or we don't wanna get a part of. It's not so much Bobby specifically, I just think that we can think about that whenever we read it.
Many times, somebody.
Just because it's their family lot, make sure there's no
Right.
interest.
He can't will that lot, he can will that house, but he can't will that lot.
Right, but then you have to fight somebody over the value, because that's where the value is, right? The house.
Yeah, the house is out, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, that would just be my thought. Like I said, I have a problem with Chicky. I vote.
Yeah, they don't, the brother and sister, he's talked
Just
about
wanna
it,
make sure we had something.
and none of them have any interest in it. I think the brother was in, I wanna say he said Las Vegas somewhere.
Yeah, he was like Nevada, Desert,
Yeah, right,
California, or
yeah.
something in the skirts.
Yeah,
Well, who's that guy, that tall guy that stays over there?
that's just a friend of theirs,
Oh,
there, that comes down here and
Come
helps
down
them,
there.
yeah.
Help
him
work.
roll.
They used to clean up
that.
brush and stuff.
Working on
His name is Mike, he's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, he can't.
He's on a lot of work over there, before they got children in my hand.
Maybe that's what the Spirit Crew's talking about too, because I didn't know he was staying over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but he
I'm just saying, I mean, these people are not looking for the whole facts, they're looking for the
He comes for a month or
what's
so,
going
and
on.
then goes back.
I didn't realize he was staying, I mean, I'm not saying it should be a problem, I'm just saying, I didn't realize it, but there's the kind of things that
Yeah, people see.
pick up on,
Yeah.
and then they run with it, and then that's evidence they're gonna bring to you, and you're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were staying there every other month, or,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just saying, like, you know.
I tell you, I wish,
But you know, really,
I wish he would stay over there more, because 2 or 3 months at a time.
Yeah, you really get going on.
you know, and we said this one time before, you really can't tell people who you have.
Who you can have as a guest.
And extend it to an hour.
Exactly right.
That's your guess.
Yeah, it's their personal property.
Yeah, it is.
You can't have that chick over there anymore.
Yeah.
I want her to stay around my house.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but that, I'm just saying that, the thing to think about that would probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of the.
Yeah, but, I mean, but that's.
I wouldn't be surprised at anything.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you got, Brandon, and then we'll.
So what are we doing
Everybody
with this,
start
we're
their
gonna
day.
wait to get the minutes?
Yeah, I said we're only going to minutes, just to make sure. I know I really feel like 99% sure that we already did that.
I thought we were.
I thought we did, we might have, but.
Yeah, I know we read it.
It's no problem.
I gotta go around there today, and I'll just tell him, I think we've already done it, but we don't want to do it twice on the books, so.
But you're gonna check it?
Yeah, either way.
It's kind of something you don't need to worry about.
Yeah.
They might.
Nobody was having a leave today.
Nobody's a problem at all.
Yeah, I think he's done a hell of a job.
The only thing that I had is that we need to revisit a travel card application we tabled it, I guess it was probably 2 years ago now.
Okay.
But for Tondo, who is Obie Kinkin Major's granddaughter, she keeps reaching out to me about status and, hey, you guys talk about it yet? I'm wondering, should I resubmit my paperwork? What should I do? So I want to vouch for her on I looked through her paperwork again and vouched her line, which she does descend directly from Lee Major, who was an Mackinac Indian. And also, I want to vouch for her social contact aspect that we had talked about, because she has been more involved with, people from the community, talking. She's been holding her tongue, I think, from others that have been trying to, because someone tagged her on the Spirit Crow page, and told her, why don't you tell them about how the tribe, has a problem with skin color, and she refrained. So, she really wants to be part of the tribe, and the last message she got to me is that she appreciates, she knows, shouldn't take this long, but she appreciates, the communication and things to do to be part, and she really wants to help the tribe. She's like, I don't want to live on a reservation, I don't want anything from the tribe, I just want to be a part, because that's what my grandfather and my great-grandfather were.
Yeah.
And my great-grandfather was chief. Alston Major was the chief of our tribe in 1868. So, she knows that history, and she wants to
You said
connect.
what? Who was chief in 68?
1868.
Oh, okay.
Alston Major.
These maps don't make.
That's okay. 1868, Alston Major was the chief of the Mackinac, and that's her great-great-grandfather. That's Lee Major's dad.
And what is this girl's name?
Her name is Tonda Lovelace.
Where she lives?
She lives in Northern Virginia, but she's married to Richmond, I think, is what she messaged me last. So, her, we talked about her, about how she wasn't so connected. She was going to church service, she used to come to the powwow, and we had them. She was going to some of the classes that we were doing, with cultural class, and then I think Raven and then they had cultural class, she was one of them too. I want to vouch for her. I think that, to be fair for her and the rest, the people that we have on our tribal roll and giving cards to, she has more connection than some that have cards. So I really, I think that we need to do right by, just get it over with and get it done. So that's what I wanted to put on the table. And I did go through last night till 1 o'clock in the morning, Ancestry.com, to validate genealogy again, just to make sure that I could find the documents that trace her back to Elston Obikinkini Major, who she's the Carl Major is her connection to him, her grandfather. So I just want to put it. I was hoping to just get it over with. It's been like 4 years to put her application in. I was hoping that we could all just agree to do it.
Yeah, I got two to bring to the next meeting too.
And she's got the documentation.
Yeah, I mean, she is that.
She really is from here. Whether she has other mixtures and things, that should not, that's out of question. But she is definitely a direct descendant of a true Mattaponi person living on a reservation.
And meets the criteria.
Yeah.
She does meet our membership.
Yeah, everything that's on the list is stuff that.
That's a lot of work.
Big
on
knowledge.
herself, yeah. She's got to care some, so.
Yeah.
So I just think we should just make it right and get it done. And
Okay.
move on.
Okay, what Crystal have to do to,
I can help you get,
Yeah.
because did Crystal fill her application out? Because then she put.
No, it's only did 1 page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Crystal and get all the pages done so we can get her.
Okay, yeah.
That's a no-brainer for Crystal, Crystal.
Yeah, she does a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
even at the school,
Yeah.
works up there.
Yeah. So what do we need to do to get this, do we need to just.
Somebody needs to make a motion, I guess.
I don't know, I'm still hesitant on it due to the fact that she's the only one that's applying right now, but you got brothers and sisters and you got nieces.
She has one
and
brother who
nephews
died, and that's why
and
she talks so
stuff
fast.
like that, and before you know it, you'll have a bunch of others coming in, because once you do this and it's done, then you've opened the door for her cousins and nieces and nephews and aunts and whoever.
I mean, it's a sin, but we have that now. I mean, I don't think we should be. I get what you're saying, and I don't think we should be excluding her. I think the piece that she's done that we were held up on was the social aspect, that she did disconnected, but she hasn't. In the last 4 years, she's reconnected herself. She's friends with people from around here. She comes down to visit. She puts flowers on Powhatan Major's grave. So she went to church a few times down here. She lives in Northern Virginia, so I feel like she's done what she needs to do to reconnect. If other people want to apply within the family, they do the same thing. They're going to have to find the reconnection. Another thing is that you have to renew your travel card every 5 years, so she'll have to make sure that she's still doing that in 5 more years in order to get another travel card. So we'll just have, if her cousin or brother, or sister, or nephew, niece, they'll need to put forth the same effort of coming down and visiting and making their face.
I'm just thinking though, watch when you open the door, you might try to do a good thing now, but it might hurt you down the road.
I get it. And I totally understand. I just know there's people on the road now that have no connection here but want the card. You know, there's people who, just because they think it's their birthright, and there's others who deserve that same recognition.
Yeah, I mean, I understand both mentalities of it, and, you know, it's, yeah, the only right thing to do, no matter whether you like it or not, or I like it, or who likes it, but is to give her, you know, or at least vote on it. Well, I shouldn't say give her, but at least vote on it. You know, just because she's on.
She literally meets all the criteria.
On the dark side of the non-Native American,
Yeah.
we have, you know, white
Yeah,
the same way, and the whole world is changing,
yeah.
and there's nothing we can do about it. There ain't nothing we can do to stop it. The world is changing from women, looks like what we're going through now, making the new laws, and there ain't nothing we can do, and it's going to happen when federal recognition comes anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think really anything aware, you know, to avoid it. I mean, I think it's just,
Yeah, I mean, if she's.
like you said, the times change, just 2021, man.
If she's got it, I mean, you know, it's choices. I mean, you know.
And to be honest with you, I mean, what you're saying, she does meet, this is my thoughts, she meets the criteria, but
Yeah.
also now and the thing that I respect from her, and I'll be glad to tell her, is that she's having the spirit crow trying to suck her in, and she's staying away from it.
Well, that's it. She's trying to avoid that negativity.
Yeah, she said, no, I'm not that.
Because I think being
not
part of this is
part of
more important to her
Then slander.
than trying to lose her any opportunity of forever
Yeah.
having a connection.
Being considered family.
I'll make a motion to accept her. I mean, it's inevitable. We put her through 4 years of waiting.
Yeah.
That's wrong in all in itself. And she had the documentation. We don't do that to anybody else. We shouldn't do it to her, whether we like it or not. It's not.
I'll second it.
It's just terrible. But
Yeah, I don't know.
put her off for years.
Does she?
No matter whether.
For our membership criteria we put together, we said you had to be a direct lineal descent of a Mackinac person from our 1910 tribal roll. And on that tribal roll we had Solomon Costello, we had George Playfairs, we had Mary Allman, or Mary Langston, who was Allman before. We had Lee Major, and we had, there's a couple other names. There were like 5 or 6 families that were core families down here that everyone pretty much could trace back to that were true Mackinac. She descends directly from Lee Major's family. So Lee Major married Sarah Langston from Monkey. They had Powhatan Major, or the Kinkanoo, Daddy Course, Pinchipan. That was their kids. Her great grandpa was Opie Kinkanoo, who changed his name to Elston Major. Elston was the Kinkanoo Major, went by Elston. They moved up north. And he married Carrie Acree. And she was part of, her mom was a Dungy and her dad was a Acree, somewhere in here. So anyway, her father was Carl. So that was one of their children. So that's how all the connection goes with her. So they're direct descendants of Lee Major and Sarah Langston Major.
And I guess.
Paul and John Aker are sisters in law, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, their brother and sister. They were, because Miss Dungy's daughter
right.
married an Acree. I forget his name. What was his name? Was it John? Was it John too? I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, she raised them. The mama died
Definitely.
early, and Miss Kate Dungy, Miss Dungy,
Yeah.
raised them. But I don't know, they may have some connection to that dungeon, I don't know the other side, but they're all people from down
There's
here.
connections with the, the Agries, the Lomaxes, the Dungies.
You see those in and out at certain lines.
Throughout the
those
generations.
names.
Yeah.
So.
It's Tory, Tory showed me. I was saying nothing now.
I got a motion made, we're going to, it's over with. I got a motion made. Put that in, right. Motion made by Tony Wardrop and seconded by Brandon Cutzlow that we accept Tondra Lovelace's travel application and give her a non-resident travel card.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard the motion. Are there any other questions? All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Okay, all opposed? Okay.
We've never established a percentage criteria, have we?
We were scared, I think, to do that.
No.
We need
Because
to.
we didn't have enough people.
We need to do it.
I think we'd be leaving people off.
You won't be, yeah, you won't have a role
We
anymore.
talked about you mean like a blood count, like how much Mattapanai or how much Indian you are to be on the roll, like a percentage of your, is that what you mean when you say?
Yeah.
I don't want to
I mean, the federal government does.
No, they don't. Every tribe sets its own criteria. And a lot of tribes are not.
They try to set a standard, but we don't have, the tribes set their own membership criteria.
Yeah. Because, and that's the standard now, because you don't, because.
It's only here, right?
Just like Tony just said, the world was changing.
Yeah, it is.
And so you
Just ain't no way around it. You can't dictate who's going to live with it, and
That's right. Everybody's gonna marry an Indian woman, or every woman is gonna marry an Indian man.
Yeah.
And that blood is depleted, and then we shut it
We
off.
should probably talk about it, but I don't know what the best route, because Chickahominy does. You have to be a third, I think, Chickahominy in order to enroll.
Yeah,
They let a lot of people off the roll now
They
because.
go too high with it.
Yeah, I'm
No, I agree, but I'm just saying that.
You doing it in 30 seconds?
Maybe it's a 16.
Yeah, I was thinking, really.
Anyway, they do have one Chickahominy.
The federal government did have a criteria. Now, I did a little research. I know they did have a criteria.
I believe I've seen that somewhere too. But set their own line.
I know it for a fact.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, does anybody else have anything they need, like to bring up?
Yeah, who wants lunch?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right, well, as a meeting adjourned, I think we're a little productive here. Just, be prepared of what you see and what's going on out there, because it's out there.
Can we agree to meet again sometime
Yeah,
soon
let's
to
do
go
that.
over the final, like, the stuff that we're working on to
Oh, yeah, as far as all the, so you know you gotta have a meeting before
get back on
April
track?
1st.
What's that look like right there?
Everybody gotta have the, what's called it?
Like your boy.
Resume.
Oh, is that Highway? Mm-hmm.
That's,
Looks like
yeah,
your
that's
Like
there.
Sunday.
I thought the
But
same
that's,
thing.
Yeah, look at the sun.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
I say let's reconvene next
Looks like
Saturday.
my son.
And that way we
Beat
can
the thing.
Because that would make,
All right, next Saturday, 9 o'clock. Yep.
next Saturday, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
Yeah. Next Saturday.
Long as it's
That
not.
way you have your resumes, you know.
Yeah, all that takes care of.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like my son, like getting like
I think it's a reciprocal,
Who's that do that?
what is his,
Highway?
highway.
He does look like his son does.
Okay.
When I first saw that, man, I say a bit of that.
Yeah.
Where you found that man?
Granted it, Sheriff.
I posted a whole bunch of them.
You don't say it before?
Oh, I've seen that picture before, but I mean,
I showed you
But that, that's funny how it shows, like, I don't know, maybe it's just.
It is, man, face goes down and.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems very.
I had a whole bunch of pictures I found.
The old thing that you always have a pencil.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I killed him there.
All right, you too. Vote, guys.
He said she thought it was Eunice's, kids, maybe.
Something funny on that. I mean, it could literally have been a sneak up, slip by the one today, or.
Yeah, reload.
Yeah, she said even now, here.
Yeah, but.
So we all.
Yeah, and then Grandpa Terry.
So the deadbolt.
Get the whole kit, yeah. All right, I gotta act like I got a job.
That's good hands though.
All right.
They're in the Smithsonian, no, they're in the National Archives from when Spec came down and
Did all his.
documented, in like 1918, 1919.
Well, maybe that's one good thing he did.
Exactly.
You know, something like.
One less thing you gotta find
Oh,
out.
that's great, man. That is great.
I'll leave that set now. I'll leave this set now.
Yeah, we told him.
That'd be easy to get this next.
That's what we got them to do that.
They got a token, no, they got a token left lady now. Crazy. Crazy. So it came off.
You know where the folder they asked her for paperwork again?
It's in I got a folder with stuff back there. It's right there. In my living room, in the dining room.
Once you can find it there.
We'll see.
What we probably need to do is probably get a projector screen. We're going to probably do a lot of these meetings.
Yeah,
You probably could run it up here. And just pull it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at one.
Chris, you probably can mount outside, opposite the windows. Or just mount up there and let it come down.